What's up, guys? Welcome to FritzRolle732's movie reviews. I'm FritzRolle732. How do you do? And that's my new intro that I'm using from now on, so don't steal. Anyway, so for this episode, I'm going to do two reviews. One's going to be a movie review for the new Fast and Furious movie, The Fate of the Furious, and the second one's going to be a television review for the new My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 7 premiere. Celestial Advice and all bottled up. So, with that being said, and before I start reviewing, for those who notice, representing Toronto Maple Leaf fans out there watching, go Maple Leafs. Hopefully they'll win the Stanley Cup, but first let's just hope and pray to God that they win Game 6 against the Capitals. And if they do so well, hopefully they will be on. And for those of you wondering who are questioning me for being a Maple Leafs fan, why the hell is the Floridian a Maple Leafs fan? You might be asking. And it's true, I am from Florida. Not going to say specifically because, hello, personal info. Just saying. Anyway, so the reason why I'm a Maple Leafs fan, and before I do this review, is because, my second cousin, actually used to play for the Maple Leafs. And if you guys want to know his name is TJ Brennan. So look him up and you'll see. And right now he currently plays for the Philadelphia Flyers minor league team. And hopefully if he does better in defense, because right now he is a scorer, which is all I can say. He just isn't good at defense. It's just what I heard. It's not my opinion. So yeah, and so hopefully he'll be the Flyers. But anyway, enough rambling, enough babbling, enough chit-chattering. Let's start reviewing, shall we? Let's shall. Anyway, so The Fate and the Furious, my review on that is, overall, it's a really great movie. So much action, and the characters themselves are so enjoyable to watch. I love them, and, overall, I just love this movie. And and I'm glad they actually got back to racing. There was a racing because it's tradition in a Fast and Furious movie. A Fast and Furious movie needs to have racing in it, and good thing it does. Because in the beginning of the movie, it takes place in Havana, Cuba. And by the way, spoiler alerts ahead before I continue. Anyway, so it takes place in the movie first takes place in Havana, Cuba. My bad. It's cities, then countries. Get it right. Did you pass geography? Yes, I did. Last year. Or, no, 2 years ago. That was my freshman class. Anyway, so, moving on. So, it takes place in Havana, Cuba. And, it starts off where all of a sudden, Dom's cousin, which we find out in the movie, Dom has a cousin. He starts getting a bit in a conflict and a bit of a jam with some guy, and so they had to do a race war to fight. Dom had to race this guy in order to save his cousin's save his cousin's car or something. I don't know. And so the prize was to give away Dom's car. And so Dom wins in the end, of course, as usual, because he is the best racer. And so it all turns out well. And then all of a sudden, Dom meets Cypher, and so when I saw the trailer, I knew Dom was going to be evil because I saw the trailer, but I knew it had to be something. It can't be because it was intentional, because I knew this character. Like, I've seen the whole movies, and he would never do it intentionally. It had to be for something important that's, a part of his life. It had to be somebody who was, like, part of Dom's life, which it was. And guess what? Spoiler alert, Elena, who used to be Dom's girlfriend after Letty died, or thought was to be dead, all of a sudden was actually pregnant and with a baby boy, and now Dom has a son. And, he needed to do this in order to save his son's life and save his wife. And sadly, Elena got killed by getting shot by one of Cypher's henchmen. And I gotta say, Cypher, you are one bad bitch. I got to say, she is just so maniacal and so like, I wouldn't say badass because she didn't do any stunts, but I will say smart ass. And not in the bad way, as in, like, she's smart, like, smartly badass, but, just shorten it. Anyway, so I have to say, she is one maniacal villain. She's like a real life Starlight Glimmer. That's like all I gotta say. Except Starlight is great with magic. She's just great with computers. That's all I have to say. And she's also great with manipulating people's minds. Holy shit. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, holy shit. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Okay, that's enough. Oh my god. Anyway, going back to the movie, and so the characters were enjoyable to watch. Their characterizations, even though they were the same, it's just so fun to watch. Like Tyrese's character, he was just being, the old jokester stuff, like, like his character, which I forgot his name. What's his name? Roman Pierce. Yeah, Rome. I remember. It's Rome. He was Tyrese was just being Rome, Ludacris was being Tej, and everybody was just being themselves, except I gotta say, Dom, if you see this movie, you're gonna be impressed with Dom, Vin Diesel's character, because you get to see Dom's more intelligent side. Like, he is smart. Like, he is, like, knows his people. Like, he knows people. And I gotta say, that was really impressive. And I gotta say, Dwayne Johnson's character, what the hell is Hobbs doing with his life? He traded his career as a badass cop into a soccer coach, and it wasn't even, like, seriously. Oh my gosh. I was literally dying laughing, but at the same time was cringed a bit. That's a lie. Not a bit, it's an understatement. A lot. I was cringing a lot with this character. I was like, oh my gosh. What have you done with your life? Hobbs. Oh my gosh. And also Kurt Russell's character was really cool. I definitely love Mr. Nobody. Like, he was just being himself. Like, oh my gosh. Everybody was just great. Everybody was great. And also Jason Statham, finally. If for all you Jason Statham fans out there, you know him as an action hero, but in the Fast and Furious, in the last movie, he was a villain. And now finally he goes back to being a hero. I mean, yes. I mean, we all knew that from the trailer for those who watch, but I gotta say, it was really awesome to be back as a hero, and I gotta say, he looks better as a hero than he was as a bad guy. Like, oh my gosh. And also his brother was a hero. That was pretty cool. And yeah, overall it was just great. And if I had to give a rating, I give it a 9 out of 10. The people, if for those of you who are fans of Fast and Furious, you're gonna love this movie. You're gonna absolutely love it, because sure, and for those of you who haven't seen the movie, who haven't seen the series, because I watched this with my cousins and they haven't seen any of the movies and they loved it, and they were already a fan. They were already a fan with the series and stuff. However, they haven't seen any, but just fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And yeah, it's just the only thing that I would say the negative was just that Dwayne Johnson scene of him being a soccer coach, and just, his coaching tactics with his daughter and the other girls. Holy crap. Like, it was just weird. And yeah, cringeworthy. And also the visual effects were a bit choppy, because they were similar to, like, Michael Bay's visual effects in his movies, like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. Like, the old school slow motion and then volume tuning. Like, don't do that. Don't do a Michael Bay move. Please, don't. Anyway, but that's, like, my only negatives. Overall, it was still a great movie. Sadly, though, right now, it's 7.5 in IMDb, which is great. Which is great. We definitely want that. A 7.5 at least. That would be great. It's just, so far, I'm looking at the Rotten Tomato score, and it's 66%, which means, don't get me wrong, that's an acceptable rating, but only acceptable. A little bit more than acceptable. Just a little bit more than acceptable, which I'm like, really? Really? You don't think it's over the top? Because, to be honest, I would have given it, I wish it was, like, above 70, but still. 66? Come on, guys. But anyway, so moving on to, stop saying anyway. So moving on to the season 7 premiere of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Now I gotta say, the first episode, Celestial Vice, was pretty solid. It was a solid episode. My favorite part was just Celestia's personality. Like she was like it was like she was one of the characters, and I really enjoyed it. Like she was so much fun. She had so much personality, so enjoyable to watch. You're gonna like her. For all you bronies watching this who haven't seen the season 7 premiere, which is definitely totally worthless because every brony should watch it. So yeah. Um, you're definitely gonna love this episode, Celestial Advice. It's just all bottled up was pretty meh because I mean it was just a basic episode. However, it was just a little bit above average, but only a little. But it's still a fun episode to watch. And so Celestial Vice was the one where Twilight needed to have a plan for like Starlight because she's already done she's already done her friendship lessons, and here's how she did. She was like frantically doing this, and she was like she learned about this. She knows about this one. She taught me on this one. What do I do? And she needed Celestia for advice, and so she was actually thinking, okay, where should I take her? And and so that was actually before that she was like didn't know. She was like, okay, you pretend you're you, and I pretend I'm me. And so when you were you and you were here, and then she realized she needs to send her away, which is sad. But moving forward, so she had these places. At first, it was going to the changelings hive and teach them, and that was good. Except the bad thing is, only one changeling needs it to deviate can be deviated from the pack. So that was the worst case scenario, which totally agree. And then dragons, she then went to dragons, and then she would totally have fun with them. At the same time, nah, I totally disagree. I don't think that's a good place. I mean, even by the best case scenario, but still, that's not good. However, the Crystal Empire, that was the majority. I would definitely want Starlight to finally go back to the Crystal Empire and be reunited with Sunburst because they should have been they should have been permanently reunited and just stay there. Like that's how I would want that to see. Like I want to see that in the future. Like she just stays there with her for now on because rekindling friendships. Not to say that they didn't rekindle. They did rekindle, and I would say completely, but at the same time, nah. But that would be totally cool if she stayed with Sunburst. That's all I gotta say. But however, the worst case scenario is, they could be ambiguous and start doing new magic tricks. No pun intended. So, oh man, I'm approaching the 2 minute mark. Anyway, so moving on, and so Celestia burst out laughing, which was what? And so we start to realize that she had the same fears when she had with Twilight, and also that scene where she looked up to Nightmare Moon. I mean, Luna being the moon because that was during the time where Luna was still banished, and she said I had to send her away. I was feeling it because I knew there was a connection because it felt similar to Luna's banishment was like Twilight being sent away to Ponyville. Like they were similar because she was heartfelt on should I really do this? She's turning evil, but it's for the fate of Equestria. I gotta banish you. And she was like, man, should I really send away Twilight? I mean, she's a really fun. I love her as a student, and I don't want her to go away. Maybe there's like it was just all that, and there's connections. But anyway, so I would give that an 8.5, and all bottled up. It was just a basic episode. It's just the thing I just disliked was just Trixie. Like, holy crap. Like, oh my god, she just didn't care at all. Well, and I gotta say, it's definitely not good to bottle up your anger, guys, figuratively and literally. And I give that one a 6. It was pretty good. But anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy my review. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, click up here. And if you want to check out other episodes, click down here. With that being said, hope you guys enjoy this review. No hat of the day. And so, I'll see you guys later in the future. FritzRolle732, out.